no new friends. Football fans, they sleep again. They sleep. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ins. Back in. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. They can't win. No new friends. No new friends. Football fans. Football. They sleep again. They sleep. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah, yeah. Wake up. Wake up. The cake up. Raise up. Or make us do something we don't want to. Bite down on you. Right now on you. Juke to the left, they dodging it. Can't play the role, you fraudulent. Waiting on the right for the stars in it. 4x4 double parking it. Wanna play like cars in it. Wear the right flag, they forfeiting it. Now I got a ring too gorgeous. Damn, I gotta treat it like forges. It sound like I wanna scratch it. Try to take the ring, I'ma tackle you. I guess I'm a Super Bowl bachelor. Go hard in the gym, no cameras. I think I see blood, no Dracula. I'm an animal, eating up amateurs. Too active, y'all can't handle it. No taxing, we'll dismantle it. Shake up the building and ramble it. Whip it, shut up the critics and analysts. Come through dripping, I'ma set it off. Game after game, you can bet it off. Quarterback got range if you broke them off. Quarterback did an option and set it off. Duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a...
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Watson. Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's a carry down for Keith Marshall, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't pull him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. First carry for Royce Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You got it. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. He's got this tight end, Jake Butt. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Keenum on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Keenum will try again on 2nd down. Being chased out left. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And Anderson's got it. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Skirts by at the 15. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. The Clemson connection. Watson to Hopkins for a big one. 48 yards. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They give it to him running left. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Partner, on my spot sheets, I highlighted turnover margin because we remember they turned it over 4 times last week. So another one here in the first quarter. This isn't the way they want to go.
No, not even close. And it's not something they even imagine because the amount of time that we know that they spend in practice talking about what they need to get done, working on it, showing them how to take care of the football, and emphasizing what it means in terms of winning. They got to just be puzzled right now that they're not taking care of the ball better.
On 3rd down, that's Marshall, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards puts him right on the doorstep, but now it'll be 4th and goal.
How about that for defense? Every hole plugged up. Can't run it inside, can't bounce it outside. That sets up 4th and goal from the 2. Right now, advantage defense.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line. So it'll come out to the 25. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs going to start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It's taken to the 26. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter #2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. from the gun. Here's Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. Give him 7 now on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here's Marquette King now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. Watson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Room to run past midfield. He's at the 40, the 20, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Royce Freeman, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now a play fake here on first down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Foreman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Domitov Peko, the one to get him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The Texans on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Come back, come back.
Out of the gun, Watson. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Shotgun snap for Keenum. The man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's going to get this one all the way up to the 30. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. On 2nd down, here's Keenum. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Keenum. Flush to his right. He may try and run for them. And he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And some room to roam now. And this results in 6. Touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Murray to have the extra point. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Returning it, Carlos Henderson. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On second down, here's Keenum. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. The Broncos on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Freeman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'll guarantee you it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Now Keenum throwing on second. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Keenum to throw on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Broncos on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw, Keenum looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Keenum now to throw. In the middle, open is Thomas. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bay-Bay, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case,
and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him, Unable to bring him to the ground. Whitney merciless. In there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hot! Hot! You must be getting tired. 52, here we go. Mary left, Mary left. Touch.
3rd and long. It's Keenum. Looking deep for Demarius. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play. Keenum to Thomas. 57 yards. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. They go play action here on 1st down. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jake Butt, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos have broken the tie. McManus's point after is good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Watson, he finds Hopkins complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47.
Black 22, I feel it. Black 22.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And this now 3rd and 11 after that 2nd down completion actually went back a yard.
Come on, Jack! Do Jack!
On 3rd down, Watson will be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Shane Leckler now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be taken at the 13. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. So the Broncos coming out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Keenum. Escaping the pressure right. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big time play.
Keenum now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right side, that's complete. Demaryius Thomas. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll put it in the hands of their receiver, Sanders. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got it at the 15. It's a big play. Keenum to Thomas. And even 50 yards.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Keenum on first down. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And McManus able to put it through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. They got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he spins through. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Watson. And incomplete here on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. But he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here's Freeman. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, go, let's go, let's go.
Freeman again. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's Keenum here off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. Over the middle, complete. That's Fuller. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, it's Marshall, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
Let's go.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Now Keenum. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. This is fielded at the 27. Touchdown, Houston. Keith Marshall, 73 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game.
And that jumps the excitement level up a few notches, doesn't it? What a big-time punt return for a touchdown. Now their cohorts on the special team side, they've got to add the PAT.
That would be the equalizer. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. The drive starts with Foreman on the ground. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Watson. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now it's Watson. Hopkins strong running. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have broken the tie.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. Another costly turnover, their second of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
It certainly is, and let's face it, they named the game after it, right? So isn't it the most important thing?
But
it's football. Exactly. They named the game for it. Take care of it.
They'll run with Foreman. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Texans, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.